live. What up? This is Rama screen. Can you hear me? Oh, let me know if you can't hear me. I just bought these new earbuds with this spiffy microphone. Testing, testing. So if you can't hear me at all, let me know. I don't know. I guess I can restart this YouTube live stream. But if you can hear me, let me know too, because I want to know if this thing actually works or if I should return it. I got about like 30 days um, to get my refund if it doesn't work. All right, so real quick before we get to the topic at hand, I just want to say that this is, well, yeah, we are coming to the end of the year, end of 2017, meaning that I will be unleashing my annual list of, best of the best and worst of the worst movies, a combination of genres, not just like best of comedy or best of thriller, um, but best of the best, worst of worst, top 10. I want to just put a top 10. In the past, I've done seven, so I'll do 10 this year, and I will also do for um, the actors and the actresses, because I'm sure you're interested in who I think is you know, the most awesome performance of the year for both genres. Let's see. That will be happening, I want to say, after Christmas. By the way, on Christmas Day, I will be doing a Facebook Live at facebook.com slash Ramascreen. That's facebook.com slash Ramascreen. Um, just a little bit of a Christmas greeting to all of you guys that have been tuning in to this channel this past year. Just some melodious thank you, I guess you could say. All right, let's get to the topic at hand. The title, of course, is kind of funny. Oh, let me see here. Let me open up my computer. I have my notes here so I could follow along so I don't lose my train of thoughts. Here it is. Ooh, I can see myself. Hello? I just put on my computer and I can see myself on the screen. That's awesome. All right. Okay, so the topic is um, Christopher Plummer replacing T.J. Miller. Now, this is the title is a joke, right? It's a joke that I did in reference to two things. Christopher Plummer replaced Kevin Spacey uh, in the movie All the Money in the World. It was done in like 3 weeks of reshoots, I believe. However fast it was a very fast process. And Ridley Scott did it because right after the Kevin Spacey scandal happened, and they're like, "Oh my God, we can't let this thing ruin what we have worked so hard on." Hard on. um, Sorry, just I got a little bit juvenile there. So Ridley Scott said, "There's so many people working on this film. We can't let them down. We can't let this scandal ruin what everybody's been putting to the table." So he replaced Kevin Spacey with Christopher Plummer through reshoots, and some of them actually through digital effects. You'll see the movie when it comes out this Christmas. I've seen it, by the way. You can check out my review of All the Money in the World right here at Rama Screen YouTube channel. Um, so yeah, the title of this post, it was in reference to that, and the news this past week that actor comedian T.J. Miller has been accused by a few women of sexual assault. So I tweeted, and I think I don't want to take the credit. All right, it's not my idea, but I saw somebody suggested, hey, in a light humor way, it's like, dude, let's just have Christopher Plummer, be Weasel in Deadpool 2. So it's like a light jab. I tweeted like maybe Christopher Plummer should just replace any actor in any movie, any actor that has been accused of sexual assault. You know, it should be like he should be like the go-to guy. Uh, Maybe he should be the new Weasel in Deadpool 2. But in all seriousness, all joking aside, this, sexual assault and sexual harassment and sexual misconduct is a serious issue. I don't take it lightly. This title of this live stream is something just to catch attention. Um, but here's the thing. Let me read to you what T.J. Miller has been accused of. By the way, if you are not familiar with T.J. Miller, he is one of the funniest people on the planet, and he's a star of one of my favorite HBO comedy shows. Excuse me, Silicon Valley. Very very funny show. Very funny show. So you check it out if you haven't. All right. So I'm reading from the Daily Beast. I'm reading from the Daily Beast here, and I'm quoting from their article. Uh, the accusations were addressed by a student at George Washington University. So this sexual misconduct or sexual assault, as you say, happened um, while T.J. Miller was in college with this woman, and this woman wanted to remain anonymous, but she said this about T.J. Apparently, they had sex. I'm not sure if it's consensual or whatnot, uh, but she said this, and I quote: "He, as in T.J. Miller, he just tried a lot of things without asking me, and at no point asked me if I was all right. He choked me, and I kept staring at his face, hoping he would see that I was afraid that he would, you know, and hoping that he would stop, but I couldn't say anything. So this victim is coming forward because of this huge sexual misconduct. Um, I guess you could say awakenings, where a lot of women is coming forward, and that's a good thing. I've done several videos about it. Um, and so T.J. Miller and his wife, Kate, I believe that's her name. So both T.J. Miller and Kate released a statement denying that this whole thing ever happened, um, calling it just rumors that have been circulating for quite some time. That's what they said. But basically, the victim, said that Miller violently choked her and punched her during sex, and that was in college. And then there's another accusation by an adult film star by the name of Dana D. Arman, who accused T.J. Miller and director Jordan Vogt Roberts, who gave us Kong the Skull Island. She accused them of sexual harassment. So it's not sexual assault, but sexual harassment. Dana Darman tweeted, and I quote, "I was harassed by both T.J. Miller and director Jordan Vogt Roberts shooting for Comedy Central's mashup. I've been saying that TJ was an asshole for years, so there you go." Okay, so that's where we are right now. Um, by the way, if you wanna chime in during this live stream or do super chat, by all means, please do so. So that's the article from the Daily Beast, uh, and so T.J. Miller and Kate are fighting back. They're not admitting to anything. They're not pulling a Louis C.K. Or a Kevin Spacey. They're not confessing, or T.J. Miller's not releasing statement like, yeah, I did that before. Now I'm a changed man, and I'm not that person anymore. No, he's not saying that. He and Kate, his wife, are actually, um, I guess, defending their reputation. And what are my thoughts before I get to Deadpool 2, which is already in the can, by the way? Deadpool 2 is coming out, I think, I want to say next summer. Let me double check here. Deadpool 2 comes out June 1, 2018. So, yeah, it's a summer movie. So before I get to that, let me just say that when it comes to this issue or this sexual misconduct thing that's been happening, uh, and you've seen my videos on it, I'm pretty I'm pretty black and white about it. Okay, there are some issues in this world that I'm pretty nuanced or pretty gray about it, where I would, hey, let's hear from the other side first, or let's wait till the evidence comes up, or stuff like that. But on this issue, for the most part, I'm quite black and white, where I lean or tend to believe the credibility of the accusers, because what do they have to gain out of this? Nobody wants to be known as somebody who has been, sexually assaulted or raped. These women have to carry this shame and sometimes fear because they don't want to lose their careers in whatever field it is. So I lean to believe in them, and yeah, that's what I mean by black and white. So when things like Kevin Spacey or Louis C.K. or Harvey Weinstein, sometimes I would quickly judge and be like, okay, you know what? Fire them all, fire from the guild for whatever membership that they had. Let them go. They're predators anyway. We don't need them in this industry. But at the same time, I'm also open to people defending themselves or make giving a counter argument, giving their side of the story. I'm not saying that hey, that they just have to take it and lie down and just take it. If folks like Russell Simmons or Kevin Spacey or T.J. Miller want to um, say their side of the story, or argue what they think is their version of truth, dude, by all means, this is America. They can freely do so. All right, I got nothing against them um, fighting back from through whatever means, could be legally, could be through the court, whichever. They can do so, and this is a free country. But I tend to believe the women. Now, having said that, now we get to Deadpool 2. All right. I love the first movie. Did you guys love the first movie? I love the first movie. It was so funny. And much of it, well, I want to say part of it, not much of it. Part of it is thanks to TJ Miller's performance as Weasel. Weasel is Deadpool's or Wade Wilson's best friend. Let me read the character or the personality of Weasel here for you. So Weasel in the movie, I think he runs a bar, so he's not quite like the Weasel in the comic books, who has mood swings. But again, Weasel is Deadpool's best friend. He provides weapons for Deadpool, and so he provides information for Deadpool. He's a very connected kind of guy. Um, so that's what Weasel is, and T.J. Miller played it very well in the first movie, and he's gonna be back for the sequel come June 1, 2018. Um, so the question is, should T.J. Miller be removed from Deadpool 2? Well, if the question is, should he be replaced by another actor, just like the style of Christopher Plummer replacing Kevin Spacey in All the Money in the World, I would say I hope they don't go that route. All right, I hope they don't go that route, um, because unlike unlike Christopher Plummer's character, Jean Paul Getty, who is very integral to the story, right? Like, this guy's greedy. He doesn't want to give ransom money to so that his grandson would be released. You got to have Jean Paul Getty there. You can't just not have him. He's a big chunk of the story, chunk of the film. Weasel, to me, is a sidekick. and and because we're so used to seeing T.J. Miller's face associated with Weasel, it's because we have a full whole first movie with him in it. Again, unlike All the Money in the World, where the movie has not come out yet, and Ridley Scott had time to reshoot, we actually had a full-on Deadpool movie in 2016 already. So we have that image of T.J. Miller as Weasel. So I don't think they should replace him because, as I said earlier, he's not that big of a role. He's a sidekick. Um, but it all depends. It all depends on the movie itself. It depends on the scenes too. Um, I'm more leaning towards just removing him, uh, like cutting his scenes completely. Because number one, yeah, Weasel is funny, but freaking a, he's not there as a comic relief per se. Because Deadpool himself is also funny. Wade Wilson, Ryan Reynolds is funny. So do we really need a quote unquote comic relief when Deadpool already carries much of the comedy in this film? So that's my argument. Um, so I if all right if TJ Miller is if he really did what he did to those poor women, then I'm all for the option of removing his scenes or cutting his scenes out from the film, um, as opposed to replacing him with another actor. Um, that's my take on it. But again, it all depends on how integral his scenes are to the story at hand in the sequel. Maybe maybe it's gonna be hard to either remove or replace T.J. Miller because Weasel has a bigger role in this sequel. Maybe Weasel is plays a big part in saving the day with Deadpool. He's not just there to feed him information or feed him weapons and then poof goes off to the side. Maybe he actually is there in the final climactic scene. Who knows? So it all depends. Another thing is it all depends on 20th Century Fox, and the producers. What do they want to do with this information that happened this past week about T.J. Miller? Are they gonna act on it, or do they think it's not that, or do they think that it's not that big a deal that it would hurt the movie or the hurt the movie's chances at the box office? Maybe they say it'll die over. Maybe it'll die over in a few months. Maybe that's their argument. Who knows? Right now, 20th Century Fox has a lot on its plate. All right, they have that problem with Bryan Singer not showing up to work, so they had to fire him and replace him with another director to finish the Queen band biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. And recently, Disney is in the process of acquiring 20th Century Fox, so they got a lot on his plate, on their plate, I want to say. So maybe this T.J. Miller's controversy is on the back burner to them. So again, it all depends on that too. It all depends on the producers of this film. Uh, I don't think Ryan Reynolds has come out saying anything or giving any statement regarding his co-star T.J. Miller. Um, Maybe because Ryan Reynolds wants to give T.J. Miller a chance to tell his side of the story. As I said earlier, I'm all for that. Okay, if T.J. Miller wants to fight this, wants to argue, wants to prove his innocence, by all means, it's a free country. Um, Nobody's telling you not to do so. All right. So maybe we are at that stage. Maybe the producers and Ryan Reynolds want to see um, what T.J. Miller will do moving forward with this revelation, and then maybe in a couple of months, then they will decide. Who knows? Um, I don't think it's gonna hurt Deadpool 2's chances at the box office. I don't think people are gonna be boycotting Deadpool 2. Um, I don't want to belittle sexual assault that TJ Miller is accused of, allegedly accused of. But at this point, it doesn't seem to be having the same trajectory as um, the other predators or alleged predators. Louis C.K., Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein. When those things happen, he was like, bam, bam, bam. Their careers just like fall apart right there and then. And everybody just wants to cut ties with them immediately. It's like we don't want to be associated with them. That trajectory, that fallback, doesn't seem to be happening currently with DJ Miller, except for I think he was supposed to have a new Comedy Central talk show, and then it got canceled. But then I read that Comedy Central um, recalls their order not because of not because of the controversy. So who knows? they they themselves don't want to even use this sexual assault allegations as a reason for canceling this upcoming new talk show by TJ Miller. So yeah, we'll see how this develops. Again, I am if TJ Miller is guilty, I am all for cutting his scenes out or removing him from Deadpool 2. I am not for replacing him with another actor to play Weasel in reshoots process. Um, but again, it all depends on how integral his scenes are as Weasel in this sequel. It depends on the producers and the studio, uh, including Ryan Reynolds, because he's got a lot of power in this franchise. How they want to move forward with this information. It'll be interesting to see how the audiences react when Deadpool 2 comes out June 1, 2018. Um, if there's going to be any petition or pushback against it, it'll be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Again, I am leaning towards believing the women in these cases, but I am all for T.J. Miller defending himself or making his own argument and fighting back. That's his choice. It's a free country. That he can do that. He and his wife can totally do that. All right. So share your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think should happen here? Do you think this whole thing with TJ Miller um, should result in TJ Miller getting removed or replaced in Deadpool 2, which is coming out in a few months in the summer? Um, what do you think? What do you think the film itself should do? Should they cut ties? Should they cut ties with TJ Miller? Is this the end of his career? Have you been a fan of his for quite some time? I have. When I heard about this news, I was like, oh no, not you too, TJ Miller. So, what do you say? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and please subscribe to my channel and share this video with all your friends on the YouTube verse because I want to hear their opinions too. And again, make sure you tune in because next week and the week after that, I will be revealing my list of best of the best and worst of the worst of 2017 in the movies category, in the TV category, and also actors and actresses performances. And I want to also do predictions of who I think will get awarded at the Golden Globes coming up in January. So make sure you tune in for that, all right? And if you can support me, please do so. Support this channel at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. There's all kinds of rewards for you there. So for all kinds of levels. So make sure you sign up there and become my patrons today. All right, let's rock this.